It is not uncommon to witness the landlord and tenant fight in Nigeria. There is always that tenant who's fighting the landlord or that landlord who's just hard to deal with. Whichever it may be, it often boils down to lack of communication or both parties not being well informed about their rights as tenants and landlords. My name is Ifoma Duribe, and I'm pleased to announce to you that I'm here with a lawyer who's to educate us on our rights as tenants and landlords, joined by Pamela and Lash.
Thank you.
Good to have you, Barrister Sam.
It's my pleasure.
Welcome to Afro Issuez, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, Barrister, we all know that it is the dream of every Nigerian to buy a land or a developed property. It is a very exciting and scary prospect at the same time. But I'd like to ask, what does it cost to own or acquire a property in Lagos?
Money. Money is the principal thing. I think anyone who has money will definitely want to have a property in Lagos or wherever he or she is residing. So once you have money, you can decide to purchase the property. But beyond money, there are other issues too that can be, because you might have money and you will not be able to use it judiciously. Probably you bought a land and you have money, you want to go and buy a property, you didn't do proper search, you went and buy a property that's encumbered. What I mean by encumbrance is that the property is someone else's own, or you didn't buy from the rightful owner, or you bought the property that belongs to the government, or you are just swindled of your money. So all these factors is that it's proper that when you want to buy a property and you have the money, the first step you have to take is to conduct due diligence. And what I mean by due diligence is to ensure that the property you're buying belongs to the person that owns the property, the person that is selling it. Secondly, the person has a genuine title to sell the property. Some people might have a property, but you don't have genuine title to sell the property, in the sense that they might have used the property to borrow money from a bank, or it's still under mortgage, or it's just a lease. So you have to do due diligence, check all these factors. Once you're able to check it, then you can now go ahead and pay.
Okay, does anyone have any question for Barrister?
Not really. But I would like to say something about acquiring a land. Like our barrister said, okay, the first procedure for you to acquire a land is, I think you need to know your budget, okay, and the location, all right, because you won't want to go and get a land you cannot afford.
Well, I think that's the money aspect.
That's true.
Yes.
You can't have a budget of 1 million naira. You want to go and buy a house in Lekki. It doesn't work. And that is why some people easily fall prey to swindlers. You might have a 5 million naira in your account, and you're going to where the property is being sold for 20 million, and they tell you it's a distressed buyer. The moment you put your money in there, the agent swindles you of your money, and you now start running from pillar to post. So I think that's a very good point, your budget.
And the location as well. So you need to stay in a place where you're very happy and very comfortable with.
That's also true.
Thank you very much. Lash, are you here?
I want to ask you a question, Barrister. Now, looking at it in Lagos, like we all know, everybody wants to acquire property, everyone wants to own a landed property or an asset of some sort. Now, how do you curb this issue of people being swindled? Because every day people complain of them being swindled, of they want to acquire a property and they don't know the right steps to take. How do you take the right step that is legal and at the same time you are safe, you are secured of your investment in that property?
Yes.
Many people get swindled of their money, they get swindled of their belongings. Virtually look at it in the news today, it's here and there. People, they try to purchase a property, they end up getting swindled, or rate one thing or the other happens to them. Now, acquiring a property in Lagos, how safe is it, and how do you go about getting it the right and proper way, the right channel? What's the proper channel?
Okay, let me start by saying that in Nigeria today, fraud is everywhere, in every sector, be it in the property sector, be it in the financial sector, be it in whatever sector, there's fraud. Okay. So with respect to now purchasing a property, you have a property located in Badagry, for instance, and you want to buy the property. First of all, the first thing to do is what they call physical search. You go around where that property is located, you ask questions. If you are satisfied with the questions, haven't asked the questions, now there is a land registry. The Lagos the land registry is situated at Alausa. Most properties that are registered, the document, everything is there. You go to the place, you search the, once you're convinced that the search is correct, you then do the needful.
Well, Barrister, just as Lash earlier said, you see fraudulent individuals who try to sell properties to unsuspecting buyers. I think the law enforcement agencies are aware of these things, but why can't they curb their excesses, especially this Omonile Wahala?
Yes, the immediate past governor of Lagos State, Mr. Akiwomi Ambode, did something about land grabbers. There is an association called Land Grabbers situated in Alausa. They are basically in charge of going after land grabbers. So if you want to buy a house and you're doing foundation and they come, you make a proper report and a proper complaint. Believe me, they'll be taken care of.
Okay.
So they are saddled with the responsibility of dealing with someone in it.
Okay, I want to actually, how effective are these land grabbers? Because now I'm going to give an instance. A couple of months back, someone I know actually acquired a landed property along Mowe, and in due course, when the person was actually doing the foundation, they came.
The Omonile?
Yes, they came, and they actually had to settle them. You understand? And I think they even come at every stage. Probably when the house is at lintel, maybe they're trying to roof it.
Where is the house situated?
It's at Mowe.
Mowe?
Yeah.
Mowe is not in Lagos State now.
Well,
Mowe is outside Lagos State.
It's outskirts
So
of Lagos.
in the past, that's been a serious menace.
Okay.
Until I can't remember the name of the law now, but they are just colloquially referred to as land grabbers. Their office to that Alausa. Once you buy a property, anybody disturb you, make a proper complaint to them, and trust me, they'll deal with it decisively.
Okay, how about these Omoniles making use of traditional means, using fetish means, charms and jazz and the other? What do you do about that? What do you do in that instance?
Now,
they come and they threaten you.
Now,
what do you do?
I don't want to deviate or digress into spiritual matters. Yes, but trust me, 100%. Things about spirituality are always submerged. You're always subservient to the law. Okay. If you see anybody who takes a charm to your house or to your property, get the person arrested.
Immediately.
Make a formal complaint to the police, and the person will find himself in Kirikiri prison, Badagry prison, or Ikoyi prison, whichever place the property is located. The person might have a day, a room in one of those prisons.
And we also know that this, Omonile people are traditional landowners. And we need to understand that we need to give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar.
Well, so
are you saying it's legally there?
That's the problem.
No, I'm just saying that since they're traditional land, since they're traditional landowners.
We respect. The moment you pay them for the money, you have given to Caesar what belongs to Caesar.
Definitely.
Once you paid them for the property, you have given to them. Caesar doesn't start demanding every time.
At all.
You understand? Once you settle once and for all, that is it.
Yes.
It depends on the agreement you go with them. But if they start demanding more, that becomes an extortion.
Yeah.
And extortion is principally and simply a crime.
Okay. By virtue of the provision of the Land Use Act, ownership of property, I think it's for a maximum of 99 years in Lagos State. But how aware do you think Lagosians are of this?
The Land Use Act is an act.
Okay.
And when something is an act, it's not restricted to Lagos State.
Okay.
But an act is something that is
Everywhere.
in the whole federation.
Yes.
You understand? So it's not just restricted to Lagos. Someone in Barrister State, in Kano State, in
But you think
whichever
Nigerians
state
are
is.
fully aware
So
of
what it
this?
means is that is just de facto existing only in fact. You buy a property today, by the law, it reverts back to the governor of the state,
yes.
which is the landowner. You understand? You are just a sublessor. But that is in principle. In reality now, I have never seen a person got a property and after 99 years, very few people use 99 years. They only give back the property to their brother, their sons, or their dependents.
Their children.
You understand? And the government has never for once gone and taken any property.
Okay.
If the government want to take a property, they take it based on for the general public and they pay compensation. The same Land Use Act make provision for compensation.
Okay, Barrister, I want to ask, please, this land use charge, is it like a tax they pay to the government?
No, Land Use Charge is a law.
No, this one they call charge, where I think for some time you as the landowner or the landlord.
Yes, the Land Use Charge is
charge,
like the word Land Use Charge. It's a tax that is payable on every property. It's payable to the state where the property is situated. You understand? So that is how it is.
Okay, last you have anything?
Okay, now going back to real estate agents, I really want to talk about that. Virtually everyone is a real estate agent today. You see somebody just tell you, hey, I sell house, so in case you need house, just contact me. I be agent. Virtually everyone is a real estate agent. Now, how do you know a genuine real estate agent? Are they registered? Do you subscribe that people go for registered real estate agents, or just anybody that has access to a house that is about to be sold. So how do you go about that?
There is a body saddled with that.
Okay.
The Real Estate Association of Nigeria. I can't say particularly what they are called, but that is what they are being referred to. Now, that is what they are. You understand? They have an organization, they have a body, that's what they are into. But outside that, if you decide to deal with any person that is not registered, you have decided to deal with a tout. And most Nigerians, in order to shortchange things, decide to do without. They are everywhere in every organization. You see people running out, what do you want? Okay, I'm an agent, I want to do this. If you put your money into them, they swindle it, it's your fault. But that's why it's always advisable. You see that you go for a registered agent or you go for a legal practitioner who will definitely guide you on the proper steps to take.
All right, on that note, we'll be going on a short break, but do not go anywhere because we'll be right back. Thank you.
This is Afro Issues.
Hi, this is Zach Orji, Nollywood actor and filmmaker. Keep watching and keep following Afro Issues.
This is Afro Issues.
Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned. And now, Barrister, when the issue of damages arises, who should be responsible for bills and damages payments? Is it the tenant or the landlord?
For bills?
Yes.
Well, first of all, I think in every tenancy, there should be a tenancy agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a tenancy agreement, the parties can come together, agree on this, subject to their convenience. So, but in the absence of any tenancy agreement, for instance, when you talk about bill, you're talking about utilities bills, right?
Yes, utilities.
Like
yes.
electricity bills.
Water bills.
Electricity
yes.
bills, the tenancy is responsible for it.
Okay.
Water bills, the tenant is responsible for it.
How about damages?
Damages, well, it all depends on who damaged the property. If it's tenant that damaged the property, the tenant should pay for it.
Okay.
But if it's landlord, then the landlord pays for it.
But how about, like, let me say in a certain apartment where there's a damage and maybe it's something that's related to how the building was erected or something?
Now there are some damages that are caused naturally.
Okay.
They call it wear and tear. You can't stay in a property for 2-3 years without some minor damages happening.
Mm-hmm.
So these damages is the landlord who is responsible for fixing it back as it ought to be.
Okay.
Most landlords decide to take it on yourself. They fix it quarterly, some do it every 5 years. But normal damages of wear and tear, the landlord is in charge of it. Is responsible for fixing that.
Okay. Is it legal for a landlord to demand for a rent in excess years?
No. Recently, the Lagos State Tenancy law stipulates, for instance, in Lagos, I'm speaking about, that you should not take rent in excess of 1 year.
Okay.
And there's a penalty for that. For any landlord that goes ahead, 100,000 penalty or 6 months imprisonment. So it's both for both the landlord who accepts and the tenant who pays. So every sitting tenant, any tenant has the right to say, no, I will not pay for rent in excess of 1 year. It's an offense and it's punishable.
Okay. As regard, you mentioned something about tenancy agreements. Now I want to ask, what are those pitfalls that tenants should watch out for when signing the tenancy agreement? Because many tenants overlook some certain things. Information. They just sign it. Yes, they've paid for their property and that. So at the end of the day, it comes back to bite them.
The first pitfall each tenant should look out for is the pitfall of ejection. You understand? Now most tenants most landlords smuggle the notice, the number of months for ejection into the tenancy agreement. So if you're a yearly tenant now, if the landlord smuggles that, if I want to eject you, I'm going to give you 1 month notice or 2 weeks notice. And if you don't look for it, if you don't look out for it, if that time comes and he wake up one morning in the wrong side of his bed, or maybe he has a quarrel with his wife, he just wake up and he gives you 1 month notice. Of course, it not be fair to you to get 1 month to leave the premises. So you have to look out for that. Then you have to look out for things like, okay, the natural wear and tears that occurs in the property, who is going to pay for it. So these are things you have to look out for. Then your caution fee. Some landlord will tell you that it's not refundable. You have to look out for it, make sure it's refundable, provided you did not occur any damage to it. So that money is mandated that you refund it back.
Okay, Barrister, in a situation whereby your landlord increased your rent without your notice, and I want to know where does this particular case fall under? Now,
increment of the landlord is solely within the prerogative of the landlord to increase his house rent. But now where the law comes to is that it should not be an unreasonable increase. What I mean by reasonable increase now, what percentage. 10% increase is not unreasonable. 20% is not unreasonable. But you don't expect the landlord 100% to increase it. The law provides that you can go to court and contest it. You know, somebody who is paying 500,000 rent and the landlord says you are going to pay 1 million. That is about 100% increase. So it's unreasonable.
Okay, what notices are valued in respect of quarterly and annual tenancy?
Now the law states that subject to the agreement, back to his question,
Yes.
if the parties do not agree in the agreement that in the event that I want to eject a tenant, I want to quit a tenant, that I'm going to give him so amount of notice. For instance, the parties can say, okay, if I want to leave, give me 1 month notice, give me 2 months notice. If it is not in the agreement, in the absence of such agreement at the point of entering into the premises, the law says that for yearly tenants, you must issue 6 months notice, and that 6 months notice, it is mandatory, it is compulsory. Anything outside that notice, outside that 6 months, is invalid, and that landlord must issue the correct notice. Then with respect to half a yearly tenant, the law prescribed for 3 months notice. Then for quarterly tenants, it is 3 months notice. For monthly tenants, it is 1 month notice. So these notices are stated in the tenancy law of Lagos State. Viewers, you can go get a copy. If you can't buy a copy, you can download the copy of Lagos State Tenancy Law 2015 and 2011. It's cheaper. It's just going to take your MB, nothing much.
Okay, I want to ask a question. Now, after you've been served the notice, let's be it quarterly, be it monthly, weekly, or yearly. Now, the duration of that notice has been served, and that tenant refused to move out of that property. What actions will be taken against the tenant?
After the tenant has been moved, now the law prescribes that you must issue a further 7 days notice.
7 days?
Yes, that 7 days notice is preparatory to go to court. Because it's only a court that can give a lawful order to eject a tenant.
Excellent.
At the expiration of that notice, you must go to court. If the tenant decides to take the laws into his hand and lock up the property of that landlord, of that tenant, that landlord will be liable to imprisonment or a fine.
Okay, speaking of
so you
ejection,
must go to court and get an ejection order.
Speaking of ejection, sorry to cut you short, how about landlords who eject tenants illegally?
Now, an illegal, the Lagos State government has taken it upon itself to deal decisively with such landlords who on their own act as a court on their own to illegally and unlawfully eject a tenant. The law is that what the tenant needs to do is to make a proper complaint to the appropriate authorities, and that landlord will be dealt with decisively.
Okay, Barrister.
And he can even claim for damages too.
Okay, Barrister. I had a situation back then in Uyo where we rented an apartment for a year, okay, and the rent got expired. We're supposed to move since we've actually completed our 2 years diploma program. So in order for us to stay for a while to prepare ourselves, we asked the landlord to give us extra 2 months to stay so we can leave. But instead of him agreeing to our terms, he said we should leave the house immediately without giving us enough.
Okay, after the expiration of the rent. Okay.
Yeah, without giving us enough time. And when we left for school, we came back and discovered that our door was locked with another padlock. So I want to understand, do you think this landlord is actually right? I don't get.
No, absolutely, the landlord is wrong. Because what he has done is he has infringed on your tenancy agreement. He has infringed on your right as a tenant. The fact that your tenant has elapsed, your rent has elapsed, does not mean that the landlord has the right to lock up your property. It is only a court of law that can give an order for such property to be locked up. Okay. And most landlords are in suit now doing this. Okay. But the problem now is that most Nigerians don't usually, one thing is to have your rights and one thing is to utilize your rights. Utilization of the right is the most important thing. Now, taking up these rights, you contact a lawyer, and you can contact, if you don't have money, because most people are indigent, there are a lot of NGOs, there are a lot of legal aids who could take up your case and do the needful.
Okay, I want to ask a question now. Now, as a tenant, now I've rented an apartment from a landlord. Now, he giving me the apartment means he has given me the sole ownership of that property for a stipulated period of time. Yes. Now, I want to ask, can I sue my landlord if he infringes on my rights, for instance, now my privacy? If he comes in probably around 10 or 11 p.m. to my house, unexpected, unannounced, can I sue him for disturbing my privacy, for trespassing and on that property at that point in time, despite the fact that he is the owner,
Owner of the
but
property.
I'm the owner for now. So if it comes at that time, can I sue him?
Yes, you can take a legal action, but that's what they call private victories.
Okay.
Private victory is that if you win, what will you gain? And the cost of going to court might supersede the gain or the advantages you want to gain while suing your landlord. So if you are going to spend 100,000 naira, at the end of the day, the court award damage of 50,000, are you still going to take that action? Definitely the victory will not be worth it. And nobody fights or nobody wants to get a victory that will not be worth it. You will not gain from it. So that is why it's always advisable you gain something that is worth it, something that you can be proud of it.
So that means I can allow my landlord.
You can decide to take the action, but what is the cost of it? That is what I'm saying. You want to hire me now, and if you are going to get 50,000, I'm not going to charge you anything less than 100,000 now to take up the case, because I have to institute a matter in court. You have to pay me for my services. You have to pay me for my transport. At the end of the day, are you going to afford it? Unless you want to make a statement.
Okay.
If you want to make a statement that you know you're right, then that's when you want to do it. At least to show the landlord that there are boundaries and such boundaries should be respected.
But such do landlords respect boundaries of tenants in Nigeria today?
That is why people should speak out, or people should take such actions. But
And they should
most
be
people,
educated on their
but
rights
most
as
people
tenants,
will
yeah.
not want to go into that details, especially if they are not going to gain monetary advantage gains from
okay.
it. Yes,
Alright.
it's in a different climate now. Most people just want to make a statement of claim and say, okay, we want to do this because we want to do this. We want to make a claim and say, yes, we are right. But any landlord you take to court, the next day is going to bring an application to eject you. So that is why it's neither here nor there.
Okay.
Okay, so does anyone have any other question? Last year?
I think I'm good.
All right, on that note, we'll call it a day.
And you can send further questions through the YouTube channels of
yes, please.
Afro Issues or their emails. So if you have more questions, just send it.
Feel free.
Trust me,
We'll be here
I'll
to
there
respond
once they
and reply to
communicate.
every of
I'm
your
going to-
questions and your needs. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for your contributions. Please do not forget, just like Barrister Sam said, beat us up on our social media platforms showing on your screens. Until next time, I remain Ifoma Duribe. Bye.